back over to my, got it, it's recording. I'm going back over to Zoom. Alrighty, so good, Cynthia, happy Sunday. Can you hear me? Yes, thumbs up. Okay, so if you're live with me right now, happy Sunday. If you're watching this in the replays on YouTube, happy Sunday. I will have this in a private link for those that are not here. This is our last vision board for 2022. I am Stars Tina. I want to welcome each and every one of you who decided to invest in your future, in your life. Really quick, how and why this came about. In January, February of this year, I decided my goals were huge. They were big, and there were many things I wanted to do. Actually, I'm going to pin myself in this to make it a little bit easier for those that are watching. Maybe I won't be able to. So yes, in January, February, I decided that I needed a little more clarity. I needed a little more focus for my goals. And that's when I decided every quarter I need to do a vision board. And today we're going to start off with me explaining what it is. This is scheduled for an hour, hour and a half. It may be longer depending on your questions, how many things we're going back and forth. The goal, hopefully you already have a vision board made. If you're watching this and you didn't watch the prior video, you didn't look at the prior ebook, I suggest you do that first, because this video here, everything we're doing is for everyone who's already completed or gone through the first phase of this whole program. So I've been doing vision board events for over 7 years now. And the more I do them, the better I get at them, the more clear they are. And as I mentioned in January, I said I need a little more clarity. So the first thing you want to do, I want you to realize it doesn't have to look fancy. It doesn't have to look pretty. Right here is just to get our mindset a little more clear. So I have goals and dreams that I want, as I mentioned. So I'm going to start with you, Crin. Shelly, if you want to unmic and share, you can. I want you to introduce yourself, and I want you to share if you've ever done a vision board. If you haven't, Crin, you're up.
You was freezing. You wanted me to introduce myself and say if I've ever done a vision board before? Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Cynthia. Okay. My name is Cynthia. I'm coming from out of Durham, North Carolina. And this will be my first vision board I ever done, ever. I always said I wanted to do one.
Really?
Always wanted to do one, but never went through with it. So, first one.
Love it. Now, do you have anything completed already, or you're starting right now with me?
I'm like I said, it's mostly more like of a list.
Okay, let me see what you have. Love it. Perfect. So that's perfect. That's wonderful. You have your paper, and that's what you can start with. And as I've mentioned in the past to other people who've come through, last year, which was the year I reached most of my goals, I just had a paper just like that. It wasn't even fancy with that gold around the outside, Crin. Mine was just a white big board with a black marker. And on it, I just wrote the different things that I wanted. I see my mother coming through right now, another participant. Shelly, I'm not sure if you're able to speak. Hello, Miss Hattie. How are you? We're doing introductions right now. If you want to introduce yourself and share if you've ever done a vision board before, you can go ahead and speak.
Hi, I'm Miss Hattie, Tina's mom. I teach the Silver Fit class. And yes, I've done vision boards before, but I never really paid attention to them. And then I looked and I saw something had came to light and I didn't even know.
Share. You didn't tell me this.
I know, I'm not sharing.
Okay.
I'll share later. I'll share later.
Okie dokie. So I wanted to start. Shelly, are you able to share? If not, I get it because you're driving. Shelly's driving. She's not able to share, which is fine. So very good. Thank you guys so much for your intros. Make sure you have a pen and paper because I'm going to have us do little assignments as we're going through this. And as you're looking at your vision board now, Ms. Hattie, I know you said you have one already. Cynthia, you're just making yours. I want you to look at what you have written there.
Hey, Tina, I'm sorry. I just able to get off of mic. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you want me to
No,
go
no,
back
yes,
mute?
yes. No,
Okay,
go ahead,
so-
share. I would love to hear.
Okay, so I have done lists before and goals, and I've done a vision board with you when you were still in Jersey, and that was so long. And I haven't done one since then, but I have one where Herman and I got on Canva and got some family photos and some of our goals. We talked travel, and so not only is this my first one in a long time, but it's his first ever, and he was very, very helpful. So with telling me where he wanted to go and what he wanted to see. It was exciting.
Can you share with everyone who Herman is so they know? If you want, you don't have to.
Herman is my son, my 7-year-old prince of joy, and he's excited and telling me where he wants to go with his life. So he's 7, and he has a lot of awareness on what he likes and what he wants, and he was a really great contributor. So that's
I love it. I love it. I love how you have the contributor, also the accountability. It's always also good to have it out in the public. So, sharing what you want to do. And there's different sections. So Corinne, if you want to write these things down, or, whoever's watching, the different categories when it comes to your vision board. And first one is finances, or you can put money, how much money that you want to make. Now, right now, today, we're focusing on the last 90 days of the year. So think of it as October, November, December. These are the 3 months that we're
Tina, we're losing you.
If you want to share that, you can. And
We
then
lost you for a minute.
Tina, all we heard was that the first pillar is money, and then we lost you.
perfect. The first 90 days. I'm sorry, the last. Yes, no.
No, honey.
Okay, so as I share, I'm going to also write it. I'm also going to write in the chat as I'm here. And then this is different. I do apologize.
You're clear now, and no apologies necessary. We work everything out.
Love it. And to let you guys know exactly what happened was, I'm not saying I'm stubborn. I'm not saying I'm hard-headed. But, as you know, I went to Florida this weekend, and my flight was on Friday. And I kept getting a bunch of spam emails. So I wasn't really looking through my emails because it was like 20 or 30 spams every single day. And on Tuesday, I got an email that said my flight was canceled. And I noticed it Friday at 10:30 when I was starting to pack. So I was just like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? So I actually drove to Florida, and now I'm driving back home. That's why it's on the Zoom here. There was other issues today as well with gas, but we're here. And like Shelly said, we're getting it done. We're getting these vision boards done. So right now, what I want us to do is the next 90 days, how much money do you want to make? If it's $5,000 a month, that can go up to $15,000. Maybe it's to save money. I want you to write that down right now. And once you have the finances written down, the next thing I want you to think about is your career, because career and finances are 2 totally different things. You can say career, you can say job, whatever that looks like for you. If it's to get a job and work for someone else, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Or maybe it's a career, starting your business, focusing more on your business. That's the second thing I want us to talk about or write down on your vision board for the next 90 days only. The third is relationships, whether it's your husband, a boyfriend, your wife, your children, your daughters, your sons. Write down relationships and how you want to grow that relationship, maybe mend it, maybe make it better, whatever that is for you, because this vision board is personalized to you. And what I don't want us to do is to put too much on the plate at once, because I notice a lot of people, they'll put a whole bunch of stuff to look good, but if you're not getting it done, that doesn't make sense. So first we talked about finances, second was career, third was relationships, and the next one, spirituality. spirituality, if you, for, you know, maybe it's praying more, maybe it's going to church, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's yoga, but it's super important that you know what you want and you're, you know, you're going deeper into yourself with that. So spirituality is, here it is right here. The next one, fun. Oh my gosh, 90 days. We have lots of holidays coming up, guys. We have Halloween, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is that you celebrate. We have New Year's Eve. And if you say, I don't know, okay, so then let's make a plan. Fun, nutrition. Do you want to strengthen your nutrition? Do you want to make it a little better? Are you fine where you are? And then fitness. So these are some of the categories that you want to focus on for the next 90 days. Again, I'd rather you have 1 or 2 things on here that you're going to focus on and achieve those instead of having 15 different things and you do nothing. Because what tends to happen is our mind tends to get cluttered. So maybe say, you know what?
We're losing you again. We lost you. We lost you.
And I'm going to give you 3 to 5 minutes to write, journal, think about. Yes, no? Okay. Yes, no?
We
Maybe so,
lost
and that-
you. Okay, you can't.
Yes, no?
Okay, you better now, but we lost you for the after fitness. We lost you.
Okay. So send the voicemail. Okay, so after fitness, what we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. If you look like you're really intensely into the writing, I want you to write or journal from January to today. What you've accomplished, what are your thoughts on it? Are you satisfied? Are you not satisfied? And then do you want to keep on the track of that goal? If you do, how are you going to make that happen? And if you don't, why? And again, usually vision boards are already done. So Corinne, this is going to be a little challenging for you because you didn't have one before now, but you can always think about what you've achieved so far this year. So I want you to journal. Again, I'm going to look at how you're writing to see if you're intently writing. Just to recap, what you've done from January to today. Are you satisfied? Are you not satisfied? Do you want to continue down that path of making that happen? And if so, what's a plan you can do to do that? And are you taking it off wrong? Do you guys understand the assignment? All righty. Mommy, it looks like you're cooking and you're really not a part of this. Do you want to just watch the replays or because it's an interactive thing? Did you hear me? Okay, maybe she's ignoring me. So I would be playing music for you right now, but again, this is from my phone, so pretend there's music.
No, I said, I hear you. I can multitask. My vision board is done.
Okay, so did you hear the assignment that we're doing right now?
Yes, but I'm cooking.
Okay, so the question that I asked you, okay, fine, great, awesome, continue cooking. I'm gonna give you guys 3 minutes. I'm gonna mute myself here. It looks like you're still writing, so continue writing. Shelly, you still driving or did you make your way home yet?
I'm still driving. I'm looking at the driveway though.
Cool, cool. All righty. So as you guys are still writing and get your thoughts together, I'll go first. But before I go first, I just wanted to share some things that I learned this weekend on this summit that I went to. There were a lot of speakers there. And something that really stood out for me, Glenn Lundy actually came to the summit and Danielle Delgado was speaking, and he asked her a question. And he said, as entrepreneurs, we tend to have lots of ideas, many things that we want to do. And what tends to happen is you have an idea. And once you have that idea, before you complete the task, there's more you want to do. There's more you want to do. And should you go for more or should you complete what you already have done? And it went right to my sneaker drive when he asked this question. I was like, oh my gosh, because originally it was 100, then I went to 2, then to 3, and now to add bags and to add bookmarks. And she said, complete the one task first and then move on to the next task, because your mind needs that completion feeling to say, okay, I've completed this, I can go on with the next. And then, not to say that I disagreed with her because she makes a lot more money than I do, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to do the next. So for me, it depends on what your goals are and what it is that you actually want to achieve. With that being said, staying focused, be nice. With that being said, staying focused is very important when it comes to your goals and what you want. So everything that you have, whether it's fitness, and I'll speak first. My sneaker drive, that's still going very good. It has been altered. And when you do have goals, maybe you add to them, maybe you take them off your plates. And then also on my vision board, I had money, how much money I wanted to make a month. And that has not happened yet. And I realized, well, sometimes when your goals don't happen, you have to change the plan, figure out why you're not doing it. And for me, I know what it is. It's all about the reach outs, because I don't like doing the reach out. So I have to find a different plan for me, which I have done. And then another thing is, where are you spending your time? And I'm changing the language because I notice for me, I have to change the way I hear things. So we hear motivation, we hear inspiration, at least I do all the time. And I'm just going to clump those two words together like they had a baby. And that baby is going to be called dedication. Okay. Because once you're dedicated with what you want, you have the plan down, you're going to discipline. And that's what I'm changing that into, because discipline is that muscle that's going to make the habits happen. For an hour, maybe you read a book for an hour. So changing those things around. So for me, looking at what I have on my goal from January to today, the fitness is definitely a big thing on there that I've been failing at. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, why haven't you hit your fitness goals? And then for me, I'm not saying that the why wasn't strong enough. It's just there's a lot going on again, which is an excuse, and I don't believe in excuses. If I want to get it done, I just have to sit down and make myself accountable. I can't blame somebody else for bringing food in the house or wanting to take me out to eat or bring food. I just have to make that decision up here, because it's all about the mindset. So from January to today, I don't like where the fitness and the finances are. So I have to tweak what I have. And that's what we're going to talk about afterwards. So whoever would like to go first with from January to now, sharing where you are, if you're taking off or putting on, you can just unmic and share.
Okay. Well, for me, from where I started from in January, really, I put nothing, because January, I really wasn't doing anything. So I based mine on really after I broke my ankles, because that's where everything really started to change, honestly. And I guess that had to happen for me to get where I'm at today, which I may seem like I'm scattered, but I'm not scattered, because at least I'm thinking. So continue to where I'm at now, where is with my fitness and my health. My health is getting better, much better than where I was in January, much better than where I was even in March, to the point where I lost weight. I'm actually finding people that are about their business. And what I mean about the business, I mean, they're about taking care of themselves, and they know where they're heading, and they know where they're going. And actually, I journal, and come to think about, I wrote that down in my journal to start meeting people that are about their business and about what they say and doing what they
Really,
say.
really quick, let's get back to your weight. Did you have a vision, or did you say last year, January, I want to lose X amount of weight? Did you have that somewhere in your head?
No.
How do
Only
you
thing
think
I
that
said,
came
I wanted
together?
to lose weight. I didn't put a number down or anything of that nature. But it wasn't even, it was a thought, but it wasn't nothing I was putting the action to. It was just a thought.
Okay. Would you say it was a strong thought? Have you ever thought this in the past? And the reason why I'm saying it is because lately I've noticed for myself.
Uh-oh, we lost you, Tina.
Can you hear me now?
Go
You guys
ahead,
are
I
nice
hear you
and
now.
clear. Okay. I said, for me, sometimes there's things that I really want, but I don't say them out loud. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did record. I don't say them out loud because I'm afraid that I may not get it. So my question to you is, did you have it like you really wanted it, meaning to lose weight, or was it just like a really nothing idea?
I guess I'm not gonna say. I guess I must have really wanted it because it was a thought. So I really wanted. I just didn't speak it out because I spoke a lot of things out and never stuck to it. So I probably did what you did. Was scared to speak it out because didn't want to put it out there. Didn't stick with it.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. Continue what you were saying. You were saying connecting with people that are about business.
Finally connecting with people that are about their business, meaning like you, Shelly, and the other ladies, Camille, those that I'm starting to come around, you ladies are about your business. You're entrepreneurs. You do what you say and you say what you're gonna do. So those are people, and I even wrote it on this new vision board as well as my past journaling, being around people that are actually doing something that I could go, wow, they're doing it. So it's showing me that I can do it. So that's something that's just something. I'm just so happy that I'm actually finding my tribe. I'm happy about that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest focus is things that I want to continue, and besides continue on my health and weight loss journey and that stuff.
I love it. I love it. Whoever wants to go next, but before you go next, something I want us to think about moving forward is taking the word but out of your vocabulary and changing it to and. For example, I want to lose weight, but I don't have time to exercise. You can change the language to, I want to lose weight and I'm going to find time to exercise. Just really changing the way you're saying things. And I like to call that $1 million mindset, just the way you're looking at different things, totally turning it around. Because again, they are so going to come true. Is there anything you think you can change with your language since we're on this point with you? Something that could possibly make you reach your goals a little better?
And then trying, I've been taking that out. I've been replacing that with striving.
Love it.
And like those words, I can't. Replacing a lot of the negative words that I'm doing slowly because you catch me in them.
Do you see a difference since you've been doing that? Do you feel a difference?
Yes, I feel a difference to where I'm correcting myself. Like I'm saying, I'm sorry, no, I'm striving, I'm doing it, it's working, it's coming to fruition. Words like that there.
Love it. And have you been doing your rituals, morning, evening rituals? Because I talk about that a lot in regard to reaching our goals, affirmations. Talk to me about that.
You can see my wall over here. Can you see my little wall over here? Those are my affirmations. I make sure if I get up on the side of my bed, those are the first thing I see when I wake up. So I sit on my bed. I have no choice but to say it. And even before I get up out of the bed in the morning, I just make sure I take that deep breath in and go, thank you. Got another day. And the writing, journaling always been my thing, but sometimes I'm I was iffy with it, but now it's more of a conscious thing to do. And cleaning from my front to my back, that helps me out a lot to get my living room ready for when I get up in the morning to do my workout. I don't have to kick things aside, especially if the grandkids was here the night before. I don't have to kick things aside and move it out the way. It's already set up. So the only thing I have to bring up in the morning is most like is my laptop and my phone, and just going up. Everything else is already set up. So
love this. Now, have you been doing this since January, your morning rituals, or how long have you been doing these things?
Only thing I can say I've been doing since January is my spirituality things. And that means I have an altar. I have my ancestor altar. I have things I place on my altar. And that wasn't even a complete ritual because I wasn't doing it faithfully. But honestly, Tina, like I said, I think for me, everything falls back to me breaking these ankles. I think that had to happen for me to see a lot of things that I wasn't doing that I said I was going to do. And I had to sit down, and I wasn't sitting down. I was making excuses, and I spoke to you about that before. And my mental health had a lot to do with that as well. I would set things to do and wouldn't do it, or would start and wouldn't stay with it. But since I did that happen and getting in touch with you ladies, and seeing things in a particular order to where I'm at now. So no, I wasn't doing things.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Shelly and Miss Hattie, if either one of you are able to speak, you can unmic and share your thoughts on from January to today, where you are, what you've achieved, how you're looking at that. Hey, Natalie. Go ahead, Mom. It looks like you want to share. You can unmic.
What was the question?
From January to today, how have you done? How is it looking? Do you need to take things off?
I could honestly say it's looking a lot better since I started those ketones, the energy. Oh my goodness, was off the chain. I walked over 3 miles today. I did over an hour workout. And was something else I did.
I saw your video. It was very good.
And I still had energy, but I'm just glad that I figured out what's wrong with me. And now I could get back on the right track with the working out. And on my vision board, I want to be more consistent with my workout. And maybe you might peep in at my classes since you don't look at them, but outside of that, everything seems to be going good. I feel good. I feel positive. I haven't felt this good in a long time.
I love it. I love it. So something I want to share, and this is for everyone on here, when you're doing something, I hope you guys can still hear me. I see something going on with my machine. Yes. We have to remind people. People forget, just send a little reminder text message. I can't tell you, before my class, I'm sending text messages. Hey, come to class. During class, where are you? I don't see you. Even if you just come for 10 minutes, because people may forget, like even with this Zoom link right here, this call today, I had people, oh my gosh, I forgot. Was that today? That's why, someone was getting on a plane. I'm like, okay, I'll record it. So if you do that reminder there. Shelly, would love to hear from you from January to today. Talk to me, Mama. How was it looking?
So January to today has been, a full 180. I am speaking more. I'm moving more. Today's not my greatest day physically, but I'm still moving. And as far as saying, okay, who are you and what are you going to do? Because I told myself I had to figure out what I was going to do when I grow up, and I'm there. So I have defined my 2 lanes of traffic, my real estate side, and I have embraced my technical side, and I consider them my 2 jobs. And I'm at a place where all of the other clutter has been taken off of the plate. and I have the clarity to move forward, and I needed that. And I can say that I've been profitable on both lanes.
Love it. I love how you're taking ownership of what it is that you want, and this is what's here. And something that I heard again this weekend, so much valuable information. One of them is taking ownership and taking stock in who you are and the values that you bring to the world, because we all have special gifts. And I think sometimes we hold back. So right now, from January to today, all the things that you've achieved, all the things that you've done, because I remember you speaking, Shelly, about speaking more on stages, building up your confidence to speak, because you can start with those Clubhouse stages and then grow even bigger to your YouTube channel. And then from YouTube, maybe you go to a podcast. And then from a podcast, maybe you do an in-person conference or summit or something like that. So just really knowing your value and what value you add to the world. If you guys want to share really quick, I would love, and this is an impromptu question, what do you think your passion is, what it is that you have, how you add value to the world? If you're ready to share that on mic and go for it. If you need a little time, I'll speak out.
I'm ready. I can tell you that what I add to the world is first of all, confessing my fears and being transparent for the purpose of helping other people come out of their shells, because we all have something that we're super good at and that we're not doing, and then bringing that to them and making it accessible. I have tools and resources that people need, and I have a way to not only bring people into it, but show them how they can use my resources and get their own. It is really important to me to let people know that you do have and you can get everything that you need, and you're really only a few clicks away from it.
I'm over here screaming, girl. Just know that I'm screaming. It's kind of like when you're driving and you could be like an inch off or a little mile off. It's just a little tweak. Just not to give up. A little tweak to make things perfect. And I put here something that's super important. I think everyone needs to realize this is what's meant for you will be, no matter what. There's plenty of money in the world. There's plenty of people, many opportunities. So when it comes to the competition, it's non-existent except with yourself. Are you getting up in the morning? Are you going to sleep early? Are you not eating the processed food? Like, that's the only person you need to compete with. I see you over there, Quinn. Talk to me. What are your thoughts on that?
It's funny you say that, because that's on my vision board. That's why I started laughing. A lot of excuse me. When I share some of my story, I always say you need to share it more. You need to tell more. And I believe I said it. I don't know, was it to you, Tina, or was it to Shelly one time? I'm a little iffy about sharing my story because I can't believe my story. I can't believe that I actually made it through a whole bunch of the stuff I've been through. I said one time my story felt like a Lifetime movie when I think about it. And now I giggle, not to laugh not to cry anymore about my story. And I know that if I tell my story, I know it can help others, to let them know, like, guys, you got this. Believe me when I say you got this thing called life. And a lot of some of our lives are harder than others, and we always ask that question, why? And I know I do, and I was brought up not to ask that question. And I say, well, I don't ask the question why. How would I get an answer? How would I get clarity on something that I've been through if I don't ask why? I need to know why. I need to get clarity. I need to get understanding. And rather I get it now or later, at least I know I asked. So, and I need to, and I'm visioning, thinking about it, to speak on it more, and not to worry about who may not like it, but at least someone out there may need that type of encouragement to say, I can make it through the next 10 years, or, yeah.
So listening to you share makes me think of that song, Never Would Have Made It. I think we've all heard that song, and the fact that Colonel Sanders at 65 years old started, And making me think to you, Prince Cynthia, 3 months ago when you were just in the audience in Clubhouse and you said you're looking up, listening to all the ladies speak, and like, not that you weren't worthy, but how could you, make that happen? So it made me think about, if you guys don't know, Prince Cynthia runs.
I wrote here, know my worth.
Go ahead. What did you?
I put
Know your
here,
worth.
know my worth.
Yeah. So guys, I share this because Prince Cynthia currently runs a room. Okay. She's not just in the audience. She's just not a moderator. But I notice, I believe my gift is to see things in other people and pull them out of it, perhaps give them the confidence to realize what they can do. And when she talks about her story, every time I talk to Prince Cynthia, it's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? It's just more and more to her onion. And the room she had in Clubhouse this weekend, there were men, and I could feel the tears. It was so deep. It was about depression. Does it take gender? And I say that to say the strengths and the powers that we each have are so unique, and they're just going to change the world. I don't want to get too deep on that tangent right there. Mommy, would you like to share your thoughts on your value and your worth and how you add value to the world? If so, you can speak. If not, I'm going to continue with the next section.
I'm not quite sure what my worth is. I'm on a journey to find all of this stuff out, because for years my joy was seeing my family happy. So now I got to find out what I want to do, because nobody needs me.
So first of all, that's not true. And the question is, how do you add value to the world? That's
to the world? Oh, yes. By doing my class, by walking.
Yes, that's what we're talking about right now. Thank you.
That would help, somebody to see, just like my masseuse, he said he wished he could get his mom to do my class. He says she just sits there and she's younger than me, but she can't move like I could move, Okay. So I told him, tell her, just start dancing.
I love it. I love it. So the next section I want to move on to is start making $1 million decisions instead of bad decisions. And when I think of bad, broke ass decisions, what is a bad decision? Perhaps for Shelly, it's washing clothes, because that 2-3 hours could be worth so much more money. Perhaps it's getting a cleaning lady. Those are bad. When I say bad decisions, it's taking 3 hours to clean the house when you can pay someone to do that, that'll probably do a better job than you can. Another bad decision could be sitting down watching TV for 3 or 4 hours. So let's start thinking about how we can start making $1 million decisions, because time is the biggest commodity. If anyone would like to share of how this past year, they've changed some decisions. Maybe it's not going into so many Clubhouse rooms, because I know during COVID, didn't really go on during COVID. That's all there was get on Clubhouse. For myself, I so many rooms and changing what rooms I go into, all things that I do. So if you would like to share from January to today, some decisions that you've made, and maybe moving forward, how you want to change those decisions. Just unmic, who would like to go? That's what we're talking about right now. Bad decisions.
Well, I can tell you that the aftercare for my son is a game changer, because, I love him to pieces, but this daycare issue is a real grown-up issue, because it's how do you do what you've got to do when you've got the responsibility of keeping this young mind. And I know, Miss Hattie, you know this very well. You've got to keep this young mind challenged and entertained, and educated, and, teach them the discipline, and I can't be a responsible contractor, an employee, a trusted advisor, with him running under my heels and me having to interrupt my sessions because he's on camera or being busy. So being able to keep business hours and treat my business like a business, not like a hobby, and knowing that there's segments is a big deal. So what's the best way to put that? Just saying that I'm keeping a schedule, and by keeping myself with these rules of the day, that this is when my day starts, this is my time, this is family time, this is work time, this is homework time, setting those boundaries and keeping that order, that has made things get better through the year. And so far with school starting, I'm finding that it's working very, very well with even managing him. So, because everything for me is not a me, it's a we, and it's a us. And the decisions that I make affect multiple people. So I've got to make the money, but I also have to be a good parent and caregiver and friend and family member. So that's it.
Love it. Love it. Guys, we're on the evaluation section. If you're wondering where we are, we started with the recap. Right now, we're evaluating what we've done. We're talking about making. Shelly, you're making me think of Rachel Rogers. I've been on this Rachel Rogers tips lately. And something that she said was she was the breadwinner of her house. Her husband took care of the kids and, that whole thing, but making healthy decisions. But something you said that she said was boundaries, is knowing your boundaries when it comes to your time. Because if you have certain things you have to do, and let's just say, I think she said her office was by the front door of the house. So when her husband would come home, he'd come in and chat with her, but she's working, trying to stay focused. So I love how you have those boundaries. Yes, we love the little boy, but little boy, mommy has to work and make money. So that was really good. That's a decision you made. Are there anything for the 90 days moving forward? Any new decisions you think you have to do? Or things you have to take off your plate to be a little more focused that you can think of, Shelly?
So I'm still figuring out what I have to take off my plate, but there's a few things that are going to have to come off, because despite having the routine, I'm still I have a lot of investing that has to go into my research and development. And I can't just hire everything out. I have to learn things. So I'm supposed to be starting continuing education for the technology in a matter of a week or two. I've got to figure out what that looks like and what is that schedule. So that means I have to be in the continuing education, do my homework because it's education for my certification. And then I still have to service the clients that I have. So I'm going to have to make sure that my schedule gets even tighter. And I know it has to happen, but I don't know today how that's going to happen. But I know that in order for me to hit my goals for next year, that I have to make sure that I come up with a system. And then the big thing is getting the virtual assistants and finding a couple of engineers, because I thought I had engineers. And as the economy is growing, the gouging has even gotten into my engineers. So my engineers who wanted $25 an hour now want $50 and $100 an hour. And I've had to tell them, dears, you guys are not worth that. So, there's things that I may have to fill in and do myself until I put together the right team. So tightening the schedule, tightening my education, making sure that I delegate, using my technology and systems and automation. And I have automation. And the key reason for me needing to lock down is because these last quarter is for me to learn my technology so that I can hire for it and train for it and grow. And if I don't take the time to be a student, I'm going to be off mark, and I cannot delegate what I do not myself know. So that's where I'm at.
Love it. In case I forget, the other day when I was leading on BWC, someone hit me up in the background regarding virtual assistants. Sounded too good to be true, so I kind of ignored it, but maybe I can send it to you and you can let me know if it was true. It was someone saying they're a personal assistant and they know others, and it's $5 an hour, and they would do some work for free for practice.
I love you, but
I was a guy.
See, that's what I'm talking about. We can't have that when we're doing the paid client thing. But yeah, I think I have an appointment with some virtual assistant people too.
Tapping into what you just said, Shelly, time management. Something else I heard this weekend that
You back, you good, Tina.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Shelly, all I heard you say, Shelly, was you were getting some virtual assistants. I missed the rest.
Yeah. No, I said I need virtual assistants and engineers, and by putting those people in place, it's going to allow me to take the education, because one of my fourth quarter requirements is tightening up my education and my systems. And then I will be educating my outsourcing for it. So my virtual assistants and my technology engineers, the people who are going to actually help me design and expand my offering, I can't hire them if I don't know it. So that's a part of my routine. And I got some background noise, so I'm going to mute. Are you back? There she is.
We lost her again. Can't hear you.
Gotcha. Did you lose me? Can you hear me? Yes, no? She's saying yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we were talking about time management. And sometimes you say you need someone to help organize your time. You need the color blocking this. Well, sometimes you got to take some stuff off your plate, because we cannot do everything efficiently if you have so many things going on. So that's the one thing I wanted to share. Shirley, I loved how you said educate, because people want to go to an expert. If I know that if I give you a task, for example, I say I want to lose weight. Well, I'm not going to go to someone who's never lost weight before. If I want you to help me with a website, I want to make sure you know how to do it. So educate yourself so you become an expert in your craft. I loved how you talked about automation, because we want to work smart, not hard. And then another thing, planning for January, for the new year. This is Q4, like you said, this is the last quarter of the year. So we want to really focus on the end of these last 3 months, but also setting ourselves up for success. So hopefully we're thinking of one thing that we want to achieve, this quarter. Crin, would you like to share your thoughts on, we're talking about bad decisions, some bad decisions that you've changed, gotten better with from January to today, and moving forward, what that can look like?
Bad decision was listening to others saying I'm a little bit too old to start a new business, or I started something too late. Yeah, especially when it came down to the real estate part of it. Oh, you don't have this, you don't have that, and couldn't give me an answer because they thought I was a little bit too old, or I didn't have this, or I didn't have that. And thinking and actually believing them. And me saying also, you go back to things, say negative thinking. Instead of me, if I can't afford something, instead of me saying I can't afford it, let me figure out a way to afford it. And that's what I'm learning also. Like for an example, like the ketones. I got a hold of that because I put it out there, and Chris found out a way that her and I could work for me to get that. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Things are really starting to, to fall into place. So now it's thinking, okay, what can I do now to keep it going? Instead of me thinking, I can't afford that, going back into my old ways. What can I do to afford that? Oh, okay, I got the flyers. I can do that. So I'm canceling out a lot of the old thinking and putting some of the new thinking into place of that. So that's what I'm doing, of making bad decision into good decision ways.
Love it, love it, love it. And it's all that millionaire mindset. It's your birthright. All right. We have so many things we can do. Law of attraction. Write this down, Cynthia. The Secret. I'm not sure if you've watched that movie yet. The Secret. So true. Watch it again. So many times that's worked for me. So we're going to move on to the last section of today. First, we were recapping what we've done so far from the year. Then we're evaluating. Now we're going to the next 90 days. So hopefully you have this written down already. If you don't, I'm going to give you 2 to tap into the next 90 days. If you want to go through all the sections, what I mentioned, we talked about finances, career, spirituality, relationships, fun, nutrition, fitness. You can write one thing for each thing. You can just write one thing, period. But I want us to come up with something that we want to achieve. And we're going to come up with a plan right now. If it's $15,000 by 90 days or whatever it is, we're going to come up with a plan together right now. Or if you don't want to do it publicly on here, again, don't forget we are on YouTube, but it is a private link for anyone, that's here. But what does that look like for you? For me, I was going to say 10,000. I was like, no, don't think small, think big, and then make a plan. Because if you make a plan, it will happen. And sometimes we think too small, think a little bit bigger. I loved, Cynthia, how you say, instead of thinking, oh, I can't afford this, well, what do I need to do in order to make this happen? So if it's going to an event, I was talking to someone about Grant Cardone's event. We were talking about grow 10 Grant Cardone's event for ladies. Help me out, Shelly. 10X for ladies. That's what it is. 10X for ladies. And you heard her. She was in the room and she was saying the Grant Cardone event, she liked that better for yourself. So educating yourself, putting yourself around these people. This weekend, guys, this house I was in, I've been in a lot of nice houses. Shelly, you would so appreciate this. Shelly's house is probably like this as well. The chandelier in the kitchen, oh my gosh. I was like, I've never seen such a huge chandelier. The house was gorgeous. It had a fire pit. It had a little slide at the pool. And, I was speaking with Renee and it's just like, you can have this house. I can have this house. There's no difference between them and with me. It's just having the mindset to realize, I want this. Okay, I want this. What do I have to do to get it? And something else we have to do is figure out, well, how much does it really cost? How much money do you really need to make to live the lifestyle that you want? Because sometimes you think you need to make $1 billion. $1 billion is something that's just like, you don't even know. But if you want to live in a certain type of area, have a certain type of car, well, write it down. What is it that you need? Again, this is something from Rachel Rogers. She said when she first began, she thought, well, I'm going to go to school to become a lawyer because lawyers make a lot of money. And then when she got out of law school, her thing was she wanted to make $41,000 and get good insurance. That was her big, yay, I want to do this. And then she realized, well, she was making, her clients were seeing her make more money in her business and said, well, you should get into business coaching. So then she said she wrote down all the things she wanted and how much she had to make. And she said it came out to $350,000. And she's like, well, that's really not that much. She thought it was a lot more than that. Sometimes we think we need to make $1 million to reach the things that we want in life, but you need to write that down. And then in her book, it's titled, We All Should Be Millionaires, is why do you want to be a millionaire? Because especially Black women, there's many things that we want to do, giving back. You can't help.
No, come back.
If you can't help
No,
She'll be back soon.
So driving through the neck of the woods.
Yep. And in the meantime, I heard the Rachel Rogers story, and she set some goals. And what happened is that she got to a point where she started work on all stuff, and she still wasn't 100% sure, but she hit one goal, and then she hit the next goal, and then she hit the next goal. And, she realized that she could do it. And she started looking at her income, and she was indeed making that money and like really doing it. So like that was it. She got to a point where she said, I'm just going to go ahead and go all in. And out here teaching people and leading the way. And, she's really, really good. Tina's been talking about the book. Did you get the book, Cynthia?
No, I didn't get the book.
I'm gonna go ahead and get my hands on it at some point in time. And
what's the name of the book again, Shelly?
We Should All Be Millionaires. And I saw an interview this morning that she did with someone that just, I don't know if Tina sent it to me. Maybe Tina sent me the link. It was probably Tina sent me the link because the story sounds like the interview that she did. And, it's there. And I will tell you, I'm here working on my vision board, Kren, and I decided that I want to sell 100 houses next year. I'm making myself a whole. I pulled down the images of 100 houses, I'm not even letting myself off the hook. I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. Only time.
She's back. She's
All
back.
righty. It looks like we're back. I
Yeah.
apologize.
That's
You
all
guys
right.
were gone.
We just kept
Can you hear me
going.
now?
And
Yeah,
Yeah,
we hear you loud and clear.
Ellie, say something. Maybe I should go in and out, then I can hear you.
no,
You
I
don't
can
hear
We're
us?
recording.
We're good.
Yes, we're
We
still
just
recording.
kept chatting with.
We
Shelly's
just kept
talking.
chatting.
I don't hear her.
Oh, she don't hear us, Shelly.
She is
I-
unmuted.
Hello. I'm not
Get the
muted.
AirPods. Let me take them out.
It may be her on her end.
Yeah, you can hear me, right, Brent?
Uh-huh.
Say something, Shelly.
I just making sure that
Talking
the world
freely.
is seeing.
She still can't hear us.
TikTok. I don't carry a Glock.
I hear you. Shelly, say something.
Boop boop
Something,
boop.
Shelly.
Betty Boop. Betty Boop. Betty Boop was black, and everyone else is whack.
Are you talking about Betty Boop?
But you can hear me. You said you wanted to know if you could hear me.
I love it. I love it. All right, 90 days. That's where we are. We're at the ending of our meeting. We started with recapping. We set into evaluation. Now, 90 days. Talk to me. You're up, Shelly.
Talk to you about what my goals are.
Yes.
For the 90
So-
days.
So these next 90 days are about framework. It is about focusing on our health as a family, as business, making sure that I have everything set up so that I am able to relaunch myself in both businesses in January and make sure that I'm ready and profitable day one, January 1, 2023, coming out the gate swinging. So that's everything. That is education, process, staffing, everything.
Okay, so now let's drill down. First,
Okay.
do you have any accountability factors to help you with this? You mentioned fitness for you and the family.
So Isaac and I just talked about him making sure that he has the gym membership set up and us creating a schedule. We're still working on it. So I don't want to say more than we're working on it, but we're going to come up with a schedule to go to the gym. I know that I'm going to go on dialysis days. So weekends are going to be iffy, but Tuesday and Thursday when I drop mom off, and then I'll figure out the other days. So when I drop her off at dialysis, I'm shifting my work schedule so that I go and spend an hour at the gym because I'll be right there. And I know if I go home, something's going to happen. I'm going to take a meeting. I'm going to get comfortable. So when I get up in the morning, I'm getting dressed for the gym and I'm going straight from drop off to workout. So that'll be my guaranteed 2 days in the gym. And then I can try to put my feet. I know that I am not going out in the cold and snow. I'm not going to lie about it. So because I know I'm not going to do that winter walking, the best way I can protect my goals is to go to the gym. As far as the business,
What about
I don't-
Isaac?
Isaac and I have to
back
work.
up. Isaac.
We have to work on what it's going to be. Right now, we're just we're finding out what we're gonna do. So I'm not sure of everything that we can do. And remember, we're kind of far apart, but we're gonna figure it out. That's pretty much where we are. We're still planning. So
Okay.
a little bit
So why don't
behind,
we
but
do
we'll
this?
catch up.
No, you're right where you're supposed to be. You're not behind. So you two, I suggest being each other's accountability partner. So he check on you, you check on him in the beginning of the week, maybe on Sunday or Friday, pick a day, and you guys say, okay, what are we doing this week? And then just kind of checking on each other when it comes to fitness.
Yeah.
You mentioned both. What are the two businesses that you want to focus on for January? You mentioned that.
Real estate and the website, the technology company. I can't even call it a website company. It's technology. But technology
What-
support.
And what specifically do you want done with both businesses in the next 90 days?
So I have to make sure that I have business on the table. So in the next 90 days, my routine for it's kind of hard. It's not that I don't want to say, it's just a little challenging. So there's a way that they both have to be run. There's an SEO component and a team component. So I need to be able to make sure that each of them is running efficiently from day one. So for real estate, that means posting and marketing listings every day and having my VAs do advertising for lead generation from honestly from December 1st, not January 1st. And then for the technology, I need to make sure that my VAs are trained on how to receive phone calls because there's going to be a big January 1st offer. So they need to be able to know how to receive phone calls, answer questions, and get a client onboarded, schedule them with me, and then once the client says, yes, I want to work with you guys, we've got to get them online in 48 hours. So that means that I have to have all of the systems in place and everybody trained to make that happen.
Here's my next question. What is your schedule/plan to posting? Because you said you need to post a certain amount of times, you need to get the VAs. What is your calendar looking like in order to get this goal achieved?
So that's going to be for the VAs. The VAs are going to have goals, and then they're also going to have an inbox. So I have a certain type of person that I look for because I can see when somebody needs what I bring to the table. They may not want it or understand it, but I know I can see who needs it. So I'm going to be sending them mock-ups or clients to do mock-ups for, or clients to create. So there's a model in the world where you create listings for people, almost like Zillow. So if you were a Zillow and you were a realtor, there would likely be a realtor page for you. So I will be, while I'm navigating, they will find it and I will find it, but they're going to be creating 10 to 15 pages each every day. And it's not going to be that hard to find. So
yeah. Do you have a plan to how you're going to get your VAs, how many you want?
I want 2 of them, and they're going to be operating on a schedule too, because everybody's got to have business hours. There has to be time for administration and creating these marketing accounts, these SEO pages, and then there's got to be time to do customer service. So yes, I'm imagining, and I like 6-hour days. I just, for whatever reason, believe in 6-hour work days. And so it's likely going to be half and half or broken up.
Okay. And when are you going to when is the plan? In a wonderful world with everything scheduled, what's the date? You said 2 virtual assistants. When would you like to have those?
I am looking to have them on board before Thanksgiving. I have 1 appointment with someone this week. Again, someone I found in Clubhouse. I've had 3 appointments already, and 2 of the 3 are not able to provide the services that I want. And as soon as I find a company that I can work with, because even now it would help me to have a VA to do FAQs and answer questions so that I'm not talking to a client until they're ready to talk to me. So, and just the onboarding process, the same as fitness, people have to be ready to work with you. So I've been looking, I just haven't found it yet. So I know I will find them, but I have to have this up and running, I'll say by November 15th, because I'm going to need another 4 weeks to iron out any kinks. And then by December 15th, we need to be running solid and smooth, and we might be running slow, but we'll be running.
Now, is there anyone for the fitness? You said you're going to bring Isaac, your husband, in to be your accountability partner to get you focused with going to the gym. Now, for your business with the VA, with that, is there anyone you can think of that you can maybe, I don't want to say partner up with, but that can keep you accountable? Maybe you guys can chat back and forth with each other?
Not yet, not that I can imagine, because the stuff that I'm doing, I'm one of those black sheep. Very few people actually understand what I'm doing, and I don't know anyone technical enough for me to engage in a conversation. I've been mixing company with some folks, but I'm also a little bit apprehensive because anybody that I'm going to mix with, where I would talk about this with, would wind up being a competitor, and I'm not doing that to myself.
Gotcha. What is it?
A lot of it's proprietary, and I've spent several $1,000s of stuff on here, and you know, so for me to go find another techie and say, you know, hey, I'm doing this, just history has told me that you know, you start talking to people about this stuff, and then the next thing you know, they're running your business, and God forbid they have more money, time, or resources than I do. And so, you know, sometimes if I have to adjust my schedule, because that's what we do, we look at where we are and we adjust. If January has to become February for me to still maintain, you know, my focus and to be able to accomplish my goal, then that's what's got to happen.
Okay.
But I don't see that happening. I'm really focused on this conversation, even with you, forcing myself to write everything down and understand what my times are. That's very, very helpful, because really it's just about navigating through the process. There's an idea, and then there's a plan. This is still planning, and that's helpful.
Wonderful. And that was the next thing I was going to actually ask you, because whether you realize it or not, you've helped me a lot in the past few months, even if it's just someone to bounce ideas off of. Like I called you the other day when I had a friend who needed advice and I answered her wrong. I want to ask you if there's any way I can help you, assist you, even if it's like call me once a week and check in on me, because I really want you to hit these goals, because I know what it's like when I need that person there to say, hey, did you do this? So if there's anything, is there anything you can think of where I can assist you or aid you to stay on track?
You know, I'm going to say a blanket yes. Fine tuning exactly what that looks like, we can lay it out. But like right now, I am finishing the little polishing up my vision board. I work in quarters. It's just something I was trained in from my media and advertising days. So for me, this is about laying out my 2023 goals. So yeah, I would love to be able to let you be my safe space, and you know, just call and just bounce some things off of you. So give me a little bit of time on that, and then I can share with you my visuals. And I'm trying to be very detailed with my visuals and just making sure that they're not random and loose, but that they are very specific. So, you know, I'm looking forward to sharing that with you.
Wonderful. And how did you do with, I have no idea what it was that I was trying to support you with when you were like, you need X amount of sales and X amount of time. And I had no idea. How did that turn out? Did you reach your goal? Did you come close? What was that all about?
So I have the business. I didn't close it all. And it was, again, finding that my support team wasn't there, and then dealing with life. And the core takeaway from the launching and the planning and making sure that I'm ready to move into the next phase this quarter is making sure that I'm actually starting a business, not creating a job for myself. Because right now I have a job. Right now, if I'm not working, if I have an emergency, then everything shuts down. So if I'm having a mental crisis, if I'm having a family crisis, if I have a snow crisis, and I tell you I'm going to get something done by 5 o'clock, but I'm outside shoveling snow and clearly not working, I need to make sure that fourth quarter is about me having the staff in place so that someone is onboarded and transferred through the company properly, in a way where if I don't touch the computer for a week, that I still deliver a week's worth of work on time. And I got things started. I also found out that people have good intentions, but not everyone is like you with the clarity. So people know that they want something and they like it, but they don't even know how to help navigate themselves through the process. So I had people come to me and want to come on board that I have pushed back and had to tell you're not ready. So it's really been helpful. So I did get that much of a commitment. I actually got a greater commitment than what I told you, which was awesome. I have appointments for this coming week from still the initial putting myself out there and being present and being vocal and being seen, right? But now I know these appointments this week are going to be completely different than the initial launch, because now it's that initial interview is, where are you? Are you ready? Are you ready to do this? Because if you're not ready to do this, get back to me when you're ready to do it. And if you don't get back to me, that's okay too. So I know my time will only go to the folks who have clarity and the preparedness to navigate through it.
Now, are you giving them something to get clarity, or is it in that first conversation?
So there's an onboarding process of a form when I update it. So the new form is going to tell them exactly what their services are. There's an onboarding form. So hold on, I'm writing, make sure I got it. Onboarding form. And then there's the pricing. So they're going to have pricing options. So, and then there's, if they need additional services, because some people are hung up on photos, some people are hung up on the wording. If you need someone to write it, if you have an idea but you can't finish it, then that's not, you're not the first person who didn't know what to say. They have a solution for that. You hire writers, you hire copywriters to write the copy, but I need to know where they are so that I know what to tell them.
Love it. It sounds like this is a good beginning step for your next 90 days.
Yeah.
I would invite you to perhaps weekly just really tweak it, because I think what happens is we start initially so focused, and then a little distraction may come from a child getting sick, taking your mother to the doctor, having a cough, having a cooked dinner, having a headache, husband getting on your nerves, and then slowly we just kind of move away from those goals even more. So what I hear, because it sounds like you're some effort in. Anything else you want to share about your next 90 days that's going to make you feel amazing?
You know what? Sleeping more, working out, walking more, finding my me time, my me balance. That's what's going to make me feel amazing. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Is what does that look like for me to just have me time? I love my little boy, but I also love him being at school. I love his teachers. Teachers are awesome. I'm so glad for teachers. So just being able to just have some quiet time to focus is there. So it's a combination: going to the gym, going into my classes, being able to write my stuff down. And I'm excited to start YouTubing and TikToking and doing it in my voice. I am a little Cliff Clavin monotone. I'm not the bouncing off the walls person, but I find that, my people gravitate to me the way they're supposed to. So, I'm happy to have some quiet time. And then I have a studio waiting for me to use it, and I've had access to it and I haven't used it. So I'm really excited to get into my studio and hook up with my, my recording partner and do audio and video. And I have so many resources that go untapped. And the main thing is I need to tell people what I'm going through, because I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not the only one with a closet full of toys. And, you come, or we go to get dressed, you have 5 closets worth of clothes, and you look in that closet and you say, I don't have anything to wear. Like, girl, who are you talking to? Of course you do. Oh, better go get in that closet or go open another closet. Stop looking in that one closet. You got 2, 3, 4 more. So I'm really just going to start using my toys and going through them. I have had so much technology that I have paid for that I have not even taken the time to use. And when I am done in the next 90 days, I right now am positioned to eclipse everyone who may have more business and more popularity, but they're not as good as me and they don't have the resources that I have. They're not even looking into the future. If someone wants to be average or normal, that is their right, and I'm there to serve them. But if anyone comes to me and they want cutting edge technology, like what does not the next 3 to 5 months, but they want to be positioned for the next 3 to 5 years, I'm going to be their girl.
I love it. 3 things I want to share, then I'm going to end with that. First of all, self-care. This goes for everyone on here. Right now, as we're here, write on a piece of paper, even if it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes, when are you giving yourself that self-care? It could be 4 o'clock in the morning, waking up 5-10 minutes earlier, but we must do this self-care to help get us focused even more. I find when I do this, it gives me a little more clarity. The way you start your day, if you start your day anxious, upset, mad, frustrated, it's gonna have a ripple effect to the rest of the day. So how are you starting your day? The second thing you said, Shelly, I want us to really be super crystal clear, guys. Clarity on what you want and why you want it and how you're going to do it. Because if you don't even know what you want, it's not going to happen. You're wasting your time, and time is so important. And the last one, oh, so important. I learned this weekend also. Today, I want you to get rid of 5 things. Cleanliness, clutter, getting rid of clutter. Get rid of 5 things, whether it's a piece of clothing, an old piece of furniture, an old utensil in the house, a pot, a pan, clothing, clothes, 5 things that you're going to get rid of. You can throw it away, you can sell it, but 5 things today. All right, Corinne, you're up. 90 days. Talk to me. What's on your board?
Yes.
Talk to me. What's on your board?
Support.
Your board. What's on your board? Vision board.
For my board is like all over the place, but I wrote it down when you was talking. So if we want to start off with money, I said I want to at least make 30K in the next 90 days. There we go. The career, I want to focus on real estate, and underneath the real estate, I have A, to support that would be the flyers. Then the B would be I want to do journals, and then the C would be my walking coach program with underneath you to support the real estate while I'm getting that up and running. And we want to go into the relationship part, working on my marriage with that part. The spiritual is getting back into my practice, working on my practice daily. My fun is traveling. I told you about the travel. I want to travel. Nutrition is continue my nutrition and get better, especially with reading my labels. And my fitness, well, my arms still hurt. Somebody said I should feel better. But no, for real, I do feel better today. So continue my fitness, continue on my fitness journey. So that's what I want to do in the next 90 days.
Okay, so that's a beautiful, beautiful start. But when we're doing our vision boards, we have to really dial it down, or it's never going to happen. So you said you want to make 30,000 in the next 3 months. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I just want to confirm what I heard. You said you want to make that through real estate. You said fires, making fires. What was that?
Flyers.
Oh, flyers. I'm like, I don't know how you making fires is going to do that. Real estate, flyers, journals. You want to design journals, or what is that about?
Design journals.
Journals and being a walking coach. Okay, so let's talk about those things right there, because we're talking about 30 days. I'm not saying I don't be realistic, but we have 90 days. And regarding real estate, what exactly are you doing in real estate in the next 90 days to make 30,000? Because if it's a realtor, I think you have, if it's real estate, are you buying, are you selling, are you investing, are you flipping houses? What exactly are you doing in real estate to make this money? And how much do you want to make in real estate in the next 90 days?
Okay, so real estate, they probably have to be put on the back, not on the back burner.
Okay, that's okay. I put a line through that. Remember how I said we want to take things off the plate? So real estate off. The flyers. How much do you want to make making flyers?
Mm.
30,000?
Yeah, I guess that would be like in conjunction with all of those together would be up to the 30K.
Calculator, Shelly, 30,000 is how much a week? She's looking for a calculator because it's great to say, yeah, I want to make 30,000. Yeah, it sounds great, but do you have a plan? Do you know how you're going to do that? How much are you selling your flyers for? How many do you need to sell? How many people do you need to contact to get this done? And again, I just want it so that it's something that you can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't on mic yet, so I'm guessing she hasn't found her calculator yet to give us some numbers. And those are the three sources. So
How
you're
many weeks is that? That's 12? So 30,000 divided by 12, and we're in one already. So that's 2,500 a week. So do you have if you don't have clients set up, that's rough. But I will tell you that if she's doing the bird dogging and doing the wholesaling, she could luck up and go for that. But you know, Kren, in 90 days with being in some of the rooms, and if you go tag up with Otis, you know, but you're gonna have to pick a lane. If you go focus on the real estate, you might bang out 30,000 before the end of the year. It might be one deal, it might be 4 deals, but it's doable. But you're gonna have to be all in and doing the routine. But let me give you back to Tina.
No, continue. You're on the right path. You can continue the conversation with her because you know the real estate and all that stuff.
You know, and this is where, like, when I was talking to you, Kren, about, you know, about the money and the goals, the real big deal about this arena is knowing what your value is. You have so many different ways to make money in this corner, and no one talks about it. Same way I said, I don't really want to go hook up with a tech person and talk about my stuff. And I'm usually super open. But, you know, real estate people don't like talking, but there's more to making money in real estate than even just the bird dogging, having the leads. So, you know, everyone says, oh, go find someone, negotiate a deal. But if you are at a point, let's say you found a doctor, you found a resource where.
I think she said she wants to stop bird dogging. Is that correct, Cynthia?
Yeah, like Charlie said, it is a lot of way to make money in real estate. And that's my thing. To go in because I did it before. Went full in. I'm sorry, I went full in, but a lot of things got neglected. Like
exactly,
yeah, a lot of things got neglected, and I wasn't making anything. So I don't want to. I could go full steam ahead, but I also want something else underneath me that okay. If I do this, at least I'm making money to handle the other things I need to do the real estate arena.
And that's why I'm looking at lead generating, the bird dogging, but bird dogging really only means that you found a deal that you referred over to someone. So if you're looking for deals for you and you turn your trash into treasure by referring it over to someone else, you're either getting paid for that paper, you're getting paid for that referral. Remember that the foreclosure market is climbing, and you can go into people who don't want to lose their home and they've got that grandma, you know, room off to the side and say, hey, why don't you let me Airbnb that space for you, because it's got a private entrance and a bathroom of its own. And, you know, you find someone like me where my family room, it has an entrance, a bathroom, and a kitchenette. You know, you get down there, you might be able to get that rental income, and I get money, you get money. And, you know, all I did was let you go fiddle with the back room of my house. And if they turn into trouble, they still don't have access to the main door. All I ever gave them was access there. So the Airbnb arbitrage is a model. The wholesaling, finding a house, is a model. And there's even matching contractors with homeowners. So when I say bird dogging, I don't see it the same way other people do. Contractors are going into people's houses, and that house, that grandma's house, they're going to the kids and saying, listen, don't sell grandma's house yet. Let me come in and fix that house. Don't sell it for 80. I'm going to spend 40 of my own money and we're going to fix it. Now we're 120 in, and then we're going to go sell it for 200,000-300,000. I get my money back and then we'll split the profits. And that is what's been going on. There's a lot of different words for it. I forget the exact term for it. But while you're out there, I would recommend to you, if that's going to be your lane, when you're not doing your walking coach thing, again, take a week, because that's all you need to nail down the methods for the different ways to do a real estate deal, and just go chase deals and know how to disposition them. That's what it is. When you find a deal, do I refer it to a realtor? Do I refer it to a wholesaler? Do I refer it to a contractor? Or do I do it myself? And no matter what I do, I'm going to get paid for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotcha.
All right, Tina.
Is that something you're able to do, Cynthia? And if so, what time frame are you doing that? Is it during the day? How many hours? What's the scope? Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, what Shelly talked about, that's something that I was doing before. I'm aware of it. It's just it's setting up the time is not the problem. It's the, how can I put it? Where they say you don't need money, you need money. So that's where I was running into.
Right.
That's why that's why I had set it on the back burner. So I said real estate, put A, B, and C, something that can give me the money to create the ads I may need, or you know what I mean, to create the leads I may need, to things like that.
So your goal for the next is real estate a part of it?
Hold on, Tina. Forgive me. The thing, Kren, that bugs me about all these people in this, you don't need any money. You really don't need any money, but they say you don't need any money, but they don't tell you why you don't need any money or how. And if you know you were going to get a 2,500, because everyone's like, oh, I made $60,000. That's crap. Most people are making $2,000 to $5,000 on a deal. So all you care about is that you can make $2,000 to $5,000 on a deal. I know you want a $60,000 deal, but the $60,000 deal needs what? Needs you to have money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go in and get that $10,000 deal, it's still the same thing. You tie that person down and say, hey, I can help you solve your problem, Mr. I inherited grandma's house. I'm about to get a divorce, or I'm about to foreclose. So if you sign this agreement with me, it's non-exclusive. Doesn't mean you can't solve anything. But if I solve it, you can't cut me out of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Period. It's a contract. And if you go find a solution and you write yourself in, and then you go to the courthouse and file a lien for that amount of money that they promised you, no one is making money unless you do.
You make yours. Yep.
All right, now I shut up.
Gotcha.
All righty. So back to the basics. 90 days is real estate on there as work for you to do in the next 90 days to make money.
Yes, I could keep it on it for the next 90 days to make money.
Okay, tell me your plan. Tell me your plan for that.
I can stick with the wholesaling part of it, or like what Shelly was saying, the bird dog part of it. I can stick with that and work it in the next 90 days.
Okay, let's hear that plan.
Okay, the wholesaling part is this contract. It's like matching up, like how she explained it, or how I explain it. It's like a love match. I was like a love match. I'm matching people up.
What time of day? What's your schedule looking like to do this?
So if I can take no more than 2 hours out my day to start looking for a property or someone that's in distress, so I can do it 2 hours throughout the day, 4 to 5 days out of the week.
Okay, I need a little more specifics. Talk to me. When are you doing it? Plan
So I can,
is saying, okay, I'm gonna spend Monday to 10, blah, blah, blah. Shelley, am I correct? Yes, no? What are your thoughts on this? Since you're in the real estate industry and you kind of understand.
So I have already told Cynthia that I would give her access to my housing ministry name and my resource. I'm not in her market, and that I would make a landing page for her to be able to reach out and market herself. Your branding and how people see you matters. And when I market myself to people, you know, and or just come up with your own name, Cren. But when people see you as a helper and as a support, they're going to do it. And my virtual assistant can get my calendar full within 1 or 2 hours of day and posting into social media, telling people, hey, you know, we can help you buy a house or help you stop foreclosure or, you know, exit home ownership with dignity. There are things that are there, but if you can dedicate that 2 hours that you're talking about, Cren, you can definitely get the leads coming in. And then you need to have one day where you're a couple of days a week where you're reaching out to the cash buyers, because if you get a deal and you can't disposition it, you're still going to be stuck, and the people are not going to wait for you to solve the problem, because most of these people are in crisis and they want answers. So, you know, we make jokes about where the money reside. Spend some of your time looking for deals and some of your time looking for funding.
Mm-hmm.
Inventory is low and people really want access. So if you're filling the inventory problem, you're gonna have people lined up to take your deals. That's it.
Gotcha.
So,
But like,
Cynthia, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, like I was saying, because see, I already have my business set up for real estate. Because, you know, I've been in it for a hot minute, but I just put it to the back burner because of the money flow issue. So, yeah.
So I was just gonna say, if you want, Cynthia, after this call, we can dive in a little deeper to fine tune to assist.
Yeah.
This seems like.
Yeah, I really think she needs that. But Tina, I'll tell you, when you're talking, the fact, Cynthia, the fact that you're still talking about this money thing, I've had people give me, I right now have access, and I just found out that I have access to another 2,000 square feet of space that I'm not even supposed to have.
Wow.
So I have 1,500 square feet that I spend no money for, but I have a key. I've had 5,000 square feet that I spent no money for, but I had a key. It's not the money problem. It's the model. You don't need a single penny. You need the right model. And if you're dealing with people who are telling you you need money, or you're in a situation, that's when you're supposed to refer that deal on and go somewhere else. But again, I don't want us stuck here because, you know,
right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I want to continue this conversation with you offline, Cynthia, but I want different descriptions on 5 to 10 things of, I'm going to do this at this time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. So it's a very clear, distinct plan. Like if you're going to make pancakes, you're going to get the bowl, you're going to get a spoon, you're going to get a flour, you're going to get eggs, I need a very descriptive plan of how you're going to do it. This way I can help you with that right there. And we can talk about that later. Sound like a plan?
I like the plan, really down.
Yay. Talk to me. How do you feel? We have recapped, we've evaluated, we've talked about our 90 days. How are you feeling about moving forward, Shelley? Talk to me. You're on mic. You just mute yourself.
I mute myself as I go to talk. I'm feeling good. And I don't even know if I never know how these blasted cameras work. So I'm here finishing up my vision board. So
So beautiful.
I have all of these are houses. I want to sell 100 houses next year, so I'm making myself
What is that
house
red? What is that red star at the top? What is that? What are those little
says
dots?
sold. Says sold, sold, sold. So I've got my fitness. I'm challenging myself to make $1 million
that.
or to be on track to make one for 24. I got my family time. Herman says he wants his pool done next year. You know, so we've got our travel section. So,
is that Paris?
Yep, that's your place.
Okay.
Paris, amusement parks. They got the passports. So, you know, we're on track. And as a family, and especially, it's so nice. Like Herman just woke up, grown up one day, and you know, he's very clear. He wants to go to Sweden for his birthday. Like, who the heck expected that? And
I love it.
we're driving to school, and he says, "I want to go see our family in Sweden." And I'm like, "Okay, I get that's what you want to do for your birthday. Then that's what we're gonna do for your birthday."
I didn't even know you had family in Sweden.
Yeah, we have family there. So, you know, so it's cool. It's really, really cool. So I love the clarity and being able to, and Pinterest is my ongoing. I realize that I have had my vision board. It's been Pinterest. So I have my fashion boards and my travel boards and my decorating boards, but I didn't have it focused. So this is really helpful.
Wonderful. And again, I want to thank you all for joining. Mommy, you're going to be up next because this helps me with my clarity. As I told you, as time goes on, as the years go on, I get more particular and strict when it comes to the vision boards. All right, share with me your next 90 days, Mommy. What's that looking like? Your last.
My next 90 days, what is it looking like? It's looking like 20 pounds lost.
How are you doing that?
How am I doing that? By working out.
When?
I've been doing it.
Okay, so when we set a goal, we, like I was telling Cynthia, we have to have a plan. So if we say you want to lose weight, you said 20 pounds, which is great. It's 90 days. So are you dividing how many pounds a week is that? And then how are you losing that weight? What exactly are you doing? We have to have a very clear, specific plan. To just say, I want to lose 20 pounds in 90 days, that's nice. I want to win the lottery too. So we have to have a plan to make that happen. What is your plan to lose these 20 pounds in 90 days?
Vegetable smoothies, my soups, and that's probably it.
Okay. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm going to do the same thing with you that I'm doing with Cynthia. I need you to write it down. I don't need a guessing, a hum and a huh. So when I call you back, we can do this tomorrow if you want. I need specifics because nothing's going to get done if you don't have specifics. So for breakfast, I'm going to have these foods here. For lunch, I'm going to have these foods here. I commit to working out 3 days a week. I commit to working 5 days a week because nothing's going to happen if it's all up here. We have to get it here on paper and then make it happen. And then once we have it on paper, then we're going to get an accountability partner, whether it's me, whether it's Cynthia, whether it's Renee, whether it's whatever. Like Shelly, for her fitness, she has her husband, and we're going to tap into each other for her technology stuff that I have no idea about. I'm just going to say, it might be even text, Shelly, how you doing? Shelly, what's going on? And that's as simple it can be. And the reason why I'm being so strict is because I need the same thing. Like, you say you want to lose 20 pounds, but do you really want to lose 20 pounds? And if so, why? Maybe it's so you can do a race in May. Maybe it's so you can fit into your clothes. Maybe so your heart doesn't hurt. So with that being said, I think this went really well. Talk to me. How do you feel about that, Mommy? Yes, no, maybe so?
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. And then you can help me get my schedule, because if it's not on the schedule, it's not going to work. But I have my walking on my schedule.
I love it. I can't make your schedule because I don't know what your life consists of. So I want you to make your schedule. Earlier, I'm not sure if you heard this, we were talking about time management. A lot of people say, oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. I understand that. Take some stuff off your plate. Maybe you're going to take off watching TV. Maybe you're going to take off your plate cooking and order food out. There's many places where you can get them to deliver your food. So the time management, I can help you organize what you're doing, but I can't do it because I don't know your schedule. Do you understand? So when I reach out to you and Cynthia, you're going to give me your plan, your organized plan. You're probably like, she's yelling at me because I want you to reach your goals. So you have homework. Shelly, you're great. I'm going to check with you in a week with a text. What's going on, Shelly? And I want you guys to do the same for me, because for me, it's $15,000 in 90 days saved. That's like, there. So it's a whole bunch of stuff, but it's not about me. It's about you. But that's about it for today. Shelly, I see you laughing over there. Talk to me. What are you thinking? I'm extra hard on her right now.
But you're saying it's not about me, it's about you, but it's a collective, and it doesn't even really work well in my mind if it's not balanced. But it's still, I'm thinking good stuff. I'm sit here and finish laying out my board and writing my numbers in here, because the one side is going to just be clear the math section. So I've got a whole, the final piece is going to be the math, and it's good. It's good. And
Shelly, I want you to really work your network. And the reason why I say that is this weekend when I was at this event, there were a lot of people at this event. And someone had said to me once, they were like, well, what are you going to talk to that person about? Because people that make six figures or people that are millionaires, they don't hang out with people that don't make that money. They may not hang out with, but they're going to talk to them. I was having a conversation with Barbara Majinski. I'm sure she's a millionaire. She was talking about, I posted it on my page, and she was talking about having to fly commercial. And she's like, asked me the stupidest question in the world. She's like, Steve Harvey, right? I'm like, who doesn't know Steve Harvey? But anyway, he posted where he said something. If once you fly first class, you never not want to do it again. And she said it's the same thing with flying on a private jet. You never want to go commercial again. And she had to fly commercial, and she was like, ew, oh my gosh, it's
it's horrible.
And I actually made a post, what's so bad about it? And she's like, well, you got to carry your luggage. You got to do this. You got to do that. It's just time efficiency. And Shelly, you are a wealth of knowledge. I need you, Shelly, to reach out. All right. To use your worth, because you can have these conversations with whomever. Again, I'm sorry, I don't understand your technology people stuff.
It's okay.
But whoever that is for you, reach out to them. Have conversations with them. If it's one to give you confidence, to make you feel good, because once we're around these people, you're like, oh, I am worthy. I was having a conversation with Credit Ninja. I'm not sure if you guys. But when I was talking to her, I'm looking at, and I'm not going to tell you the things that were going on in my head. I was just like, she name tag on. And if you've ever been to Atlantic City and it's got those blinking lights, she had Credit Ninja in her name going back and forth. And I'm looking at this lady, and I'm just like,
the LED name tag.
Exactly. That's what she had. So we have to really go outside the box and stop being in these little huddles. And another thing, in the summit this weekend, they were talking about collaborating. So important. I was talking with, and sometimes you don't know how these people are going to react and act. And I had conversations with Nicole, Crystal, and Jean. I know their names now. I was like, I wonder how they're going to be. And they were so humble. Getting a coach. Shelly, by a month from now, you need a coach. That's what you're going to get to the next level. So they said, because I'm always asking questions. What made you do this? And apparently they had a conversation. I don't know if they had her as a coach, or if they just, got the information from her. But the idea of the whole mom link was from Danielle Delgado. I guess they had their regular clubhouse room. And I said to her, was it because of her why you guys came up with this? And they said, well, we had the idea of what we wanted, but we weren't really clear. She pretty much gave them the focus. And someone else was talking about, when you have a coach, yes, you're paying that coach. And they said they paid $17,000, but they made $1 million. Like, you have to invest in your.
The coach is nothing compared to the reward. For me, it's just been about finding that coach that can get me.
Yes. I'm so there with you. I was saying that today. I was talking to Mary Kim. I'm like, I have to find the right coach for me to figure out, because I know what I love to do, but I don't know how to get to that next level. So Shelly, that's something I'm throwing out to you, is to get Shelly a coach, because Shelly has so many wonderful ideas, and she just needs someone to organize them and pull them out. And I can't do that. I can keep you accountable by saying, what's up, technology nerd? What's up? That's all I can do for you.
Well, it is good. And we are working on it. But just like I'm sitting here talking to Chris and Cynthia, and I'm cringing a little bit because I'm like, what do you mean money? Damn money. It's just need the right situation. But all of these people talk the same thing and talk the same situation. And you got to, because, you know, this is something I've done. So I can
Yes.
coach on something that I've done, not read about or talked about or been in a YouTube video. And, you know, so I need the coach. It's on the list. And I just don't know who it is because I've been interviewing and it's not there.
Yes,
I
yes.
really want John Lee, but
Is he kind of expensive, I think?
can't afford that.
So something else this weekend, Gina, I think it was Gina, had the event at her house.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I'm having another event in April.
All right, well, I'll get my butt there for the April one. Uh-oh.
We lost her again.
Yeah, she'll be
coming back. She's coming back to us.
Okay. I was saying she's using her house.
every time she says house.
Right,
we lose.
okay,
She's
can you hear me now? Is this
for-
better? Using her house as the venue. So is that a
Yeah.
tax write-off? Is she making money off of that?
Yeah.
And it made me
Remember
think
I
about
told
your
you
little mansion there.
Remember I told you I was doing that here?
I didn't see it. I saw it. Girl, she had one room for this, one room for that. And I was just like, oh my gosh. There was something else I was going to say, but I forgot.
That's all right. You'll remember it when it's time. But yeah, I'm telling you, everybody's got all these.
She's out the room.
Lord, she done left us. Maybe she'll come back in.
There she go.
There
it
she
dropped her like it dropped me. I had to go out. It dropped me out and had to come back in.
That's
There she go.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what happened to you guys.
Yeah, but you sound great now. So welcome back, Kata.
All right. I'm gonna have to record again when we're finished just about. Just pretty much that's just it. We just have to really focus and have an accountability person and a coach. That's my closing remarks. Accountability coach and a coach.
Well, I will tell you one of the
Partner.
things that I need you to yell at me over is I want to plan to do some pop-ups. I want to do some 15-minute pop-ups all over the place in different times. I have to write my content. So I said I was going to give myself a week to write it. And then I'm going to pop up and just do some tech pop-ups and some
Question. Is that other stream, is that other platform open? I forgot what it was called. That's where I actually met Triple J, where you could do rooms and like people were in the room and you could bring one person up at a time. Wisdom, is that still around?
Yes, Wisdom is still around. It's still here. I still have it.
what did
Wisdom and it's also another
Wisdom,
one that's
yes.
called Breakout. Breakout
Yes.
too.
It's really good for how you're speaking. And that's, I mean, if you want to look into that, because I remember when I got on it, they were saying it's good platforms for having what you're doing. So you're putting like little tutorials, little lessons, correct, Shelly, that you're putting together?
They might be lessons. They might just be, mini
Courses.
motivational things. Like even if I want to rant about, hey, I was on the phone with this woman and she's saying you need money to do this real estate thing and you don't, but I need to keep them in a time where they're all short because our attention span, none of us have the attention span for that long lecture.
And then I want to invite you, Shelly, to get to all the platforms, not just Clubhouse, because Clubhouse is one of the YouTube, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, all of that. And I noticed I actually got a proposal for, I guess you can say a speaking event. And I'm sure the only way they found out about me was from LinkedIn. I know nothing about LinkedIn, but you know what I've been doing? Every time I post, I use StreamYard. So I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And it automatically goes there. So someone from LinkedIn contacted me. Tina, we want you to speak X amount. What is your rate? What is your availability? Blah, 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 blah. I don't even know LinkedIn.
So I will tell you, and we'll talk about it later. I'm really not liking Clubhouse. I'm present, but I love the other channels. Not every environment. And like my client is not in Clubhouse. I have business in Clubhouse, but my avatar doesn't live in Clubhouse. My avatar lives on LinkedIn.
And that's another thing and we'll talk offline. And you specifically, I want to have a conversation with, because, you know, you have a very special place in my heart for various reasons. We're not going to get into that now, but sometimes in life, we have to walk away from certain things to do what works for us. And like you said, LinkedIn is there. I know nothing about LinkedIn, but I know they have lives, meaning live video. So maybe, as you said, you transition there and take away from here and do that, but that's a whole nother conversation. But Shelly's got to think about Shelly. Yes, we have friends, we have family, we have associates, we have things we do, but at the end of the day, you are with your family and your son and your husband and your mom. Time is very limited. And sometimes being in too many places just has your mind all over the place. Are you really any one place if you're all over the place?
Exactly.
That's it.
Well, we'll
Anyone else
figure
want to?
that out.
Yes. We're going to have to find a bathroom sooner. We're pulling into these woods because I got to pee. Oh, this is
Gotta love a road trip.
This
But-
has gotta be, I think I like road trips now.
Are you recording or not?
She's still live. She's still live on YouTube.
Okay.
Even though she left, it's still recorded. I still see it.
It came back. Okay, good. Because the room never got shut down.
No,
All right.
the room didn't shut down.
On
Good.
my end, it shut down. You guys were gone at one point, so.
No, you left. We were
You
still
left.
here.
Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna have this on a private link for those people that paid and weren't able to come through, so that they can see it. And I'm also gonna write the notes I had. So I'll email you everything we went over just as a recap. So your time, and see you in the streets of social media or around your house.
All right.